Evenings, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6 p.m. April 12th, 2016. First item on the board's agenda this evening will be a public hearing. Public hearing is for Brian Sad. Is it Sader or Sadler?
Sadler.
Sadler?
Yeah.
L missing in there?
Yep.
Okay. Application to rezone a 1 acre parcel from dwelling parcel 070790, southwest section 27, from ag to residential 2 at 3431 Griffith Avenue. No comprehensive plan review is necessary. And how many total parcel acres was there, sir?
Right now,
Right now,
just a little under 19.
19? And you want to take one parcel off there, and I assume that must be to potentially sell the house at some point in time, is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. All right, for the public, anybody wishing to speak against the rezoning of the parcel? I'll speak that 3 times. At this time, is there anybody wishing to speak against the rezoning? And for the second time, anybody wish to speak against the rezoning? Third and final time, anybody wish to speak against the Ryan Sadler rezoning 1 acre parcel from parcel 070790, southwest section 27, from ag to R2? Hearing none, I'll close the comments for against. Anybody wishing in the audience to speak in favor of the rezoning, please do so now. Anybody wishing to speak in favor? One more time, anybody wishing to speak in favor of the rezoning? Hearing no comments from the public, I'll call that public hearing closed, and we'll move to the town board regular agenda. First item on the agenda would be the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd offer that to Mr. Paulson this evening.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job.
Good thing I practiced.
Before I move to the regular listed agenda items, I would like to offer my congratulations to Bill Clendenning and to Kathy Elf for successfully running for town board for re-election and winning. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Item 2 would be approval of the agenda for the meeting. Any changes? Hearing none, approve both open and closed minutes for March 8th, 2016 town board.
I'll make a motion that we approve the open and closed minutes from March 8th.
Motion by Dan, second by
Patty?
Patty. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Any opposed? No opposed. Item 4 would be a resolution 2016-14 for the rezoning of a 1 acre parcel with dwelling parcel 070790, southwest section 27, agriculture to R2 residential 3431 Griffith Avenue for Brian Sadler. Any board discussions?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 2016-14.
Motion by Bill,
I'll second it.
second by Dan. Any other further board discussions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Any opposed? It is done. Item 4 is our, 5 is our public comment period. People wishing to address the board are limited to 2 minutes each, with public comment limited to a total of 30 minutes. I just would like to introduce Jeremy Sickler. He is the new airport manager for our airport here. And if any of you folks have any wishing to fly, see him. Thank you. Anybody wishing to speak this evening? Go ahead. Name for the record.
Ron Hatt, 2521 Blueberry Lane. I've been looking for the minutes for the last meeting for a while now, and I haven't been able to run into them.
Oh, for March?
Well, this last one you just approved, yeah.
Oh, you won't see those till they get approved, so you won't see them till after the meeting.
Okay.
We don't put them out on the website till they get approved here,
Okay.
so.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, we'll move to, we'll close the public comment period. Move on to monthly reports from the departments. Fire Department Chief Don Bowen.
Good evening, board and fellow citizens. We're still currently at 52 people on our fire department, full staffing. Things are going well. For the last month, we had 28 calls for service, 22 EMS calls. We did have one wildland fire, 2 1050 motor vehicle accidents. Both of them were relatively severe accidents that we had to deal with on Highway 54 and one on County Trunk W. So slow down, pay attention. Things happen quick. We did have 2 mutual aids to assist the city of Wisconsin Rapids while they were at fires at both of them were at the mills that they were working. And we did have one structure fire that resulted from a lightning strike during a thunderstorm. So just pay attention when it's nasty weather out there. Keep your ears tuned to stuff when that lightning cracks. We typically will get something, whether it's transformers or power lines or something, or a lightning strike into your house. So keep an eye out for whatever observations you can make. Training for the month, we're actually going to be doing some commercial structure training over at the former Mark Motors facility on Highway 54. We'll actually be tanking water from the county concrete dry hydrant and stuff, so you'll see some activity out on Highway 54, and I'd like to thank those businesses for allowing us to use their properties. Like I said, it's nice to be able to get off of traffic and be able to train in nice, safe areas, so appreciate both of those facilities being open to us. Our EMS is doing our normal training process over at United Ambulance again this Thursday night, and that's highlights of our training for the month. Public relations, we're actually, sure everybody's seen the trailer out in the other parking lot. It's our fire safety trailer project that we've been working on for about a year for the Wood County Fire Chiefs Association. We'll be doing a ribbon cutting next Thursday night down at the Nakusa Fire Station to get some of the corporate sponsors that were key players in getting that tool to us. Probably the first time it'll be out in the public. We'll be at the Children's Fest on the 23rd at Lincoln High School with it, so get an opportunity to stop down and see a very, very interesting high-tech training tool that we're going to use for the next hopefully 20-some years to teach not only children. This is very adult-friendly and stuff, so stop down and see it. Obviously, we're going to be seeing it around at a lot of civic events throughout the years, so stop down and, like I say, take a look at the sponsors on the side of the trailer. Some of those corporations laid out. I think our largest donation was $30,000 towards it, so it's pretty phenomenal that people will invest that kind of money in public safety. So other than that, nothing to report.
Okay. Any questions for him on the fire side? If not, we'll move to the safety side, and I'm hoping we were good.
There's nothing to report.
All right.
That's what-
All good.
Okay. Any questions on safety? If not, thank you very much. This evening, Mel Peterson is not with us tonight. He had a death in the family, and he'll be off for a few days. And our treasurer is on her way back from vacation, and we'll have those reports followed up next month. Okay, question?
Yeah. So, well, like we have assistant fire chief, we have assistant police chief, our sergeant. Well, why can't they give those reports? I mean, we pay them.
I can tell you the reason that Mel was going to prepare it himself through the course of the issues that he had over the last week and a half, 10 days, didn't get it done.
Okay.
He apologized to you, he'll get it to you as soon as he possibly can.
I didn't mean just in this instance. I've known before when maybe somebody from the committee, safety committee, give those reports.
Yes, if they were prepared in the past, when Mel knew he was going to be out of town, those were prepared and presented by Kathy Elf for the matter of.
So that's my point,
The
Mr. Chairman.
report wasn't prepared yet.
And my point is, why doesn't the assistant make those reports if they're prepared?
They would,
Okay.
if they were prepared. You did not put the data together, so we really don't have anything to look at. Don't know for a fact, but I would expect that the data that he's looking at is not privy to all the rest of the officers. So,
You get my point.
and no treasury report, but the data, of course, is on your financials that you did see, so she'll give an annual or regular report then. I think in just a matter of a few weeks, she'll be given the annual,
Next week.
next week is 19th, is it?
Next
The annual
Tuesday.
town board meeting, 7 o'clock, that one is, don't come at 6. You'll be too early. All right, we have some event permits to go through. First item is item 7, that's Renaissance Learning event for June 11th. It's been approved, no changes from preceding years. Your wishes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to approve the event permit for Race Against Cancer with Renaissance Learning, June 11th, 2016.
I'll second.
Motion Kathy, second Patty, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I have an aye, any opposed? No opposed. Item 8 is the event for Walkathon for Life, First Choice Pregnancy, which is on May 14th, 2016. I believe this is at Lake Wazich, if I remember correct. Yes, it is. It's around the lake.
Did we receive the life harmless insurance on this particular?
That's for,
That's,
Number 8.
that's for the last one.
Okay.
This
But
one
I
we
don't
had.
see it for
that's
this
for
one.
number
Right,
10.
I don't see it for number 8.
Oh, we received it, I guess I did
Oh.
not include it, I just marked that
Okay.
it was received.
Okay,
Okay. But we do have it.
all right.
I'll make a motion that we approve the fundraiser walk for First Choice Pregnancy Resource Center.
I'll
Motion
second.
Dan, second Patty, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I have an aye, any opposed? No opposed. Item 9 is event, the 5K9 fundraiser, Southwood County Humane Society, also on May 14th, and they use just a tiny bit of town road. That's right, Bill, isn't it? And questions, concerns?
Did they also give you a liability insurance
Yep.
that's not in here?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. You always want copies of those with the packet?
Either to have them or
Okay.
just even a check mark that indicates that you have them
Oh,
on file.
Yep, the front page
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
is
submi-
marked,
yeah.
yes.
Submitted,
So-
and it says submitted, but then I'm just wondering about being received. You know, because sometimes they submit. Is it submit to us or is it
Oh,
submit to
that's
their
submitting to
insurance?
us, so if we have it, then
Okay.
I mark yes.
Okay,
But I can include them in the packets if you
Yeah.
want to see them.
Okay.
I'd like that.
Motion to approve it by
I'll make a motion to approve the
Kathy,
event permit.
I'll second it.
Dan, discussions?
Yes, I just have a little bit of discussion on that.
Go ahead.
Where it is within 5 miles of the airport. And I attended the one last year, and there was drone operations at it, in which they took pictures of people doing the road walk in the town of Grand Rapids. And,
With the over 200 foot high?
well, I don't know if they were 200 foot or 100 foot, but they.
Well, we have an expert here on that, I think. Jeremy, I know the area that Bill's referring to, the 5-mile radius, but there's a lot of small drones that are being flown. Is there not a height limitation that they can fly with under?
Well,
Or not?
the FAA has stated 400 feet is a maximum within the 5-mile radius of the airport. Now that, it's arguable that 400 feet is not recommended just off the end of a runway, but as of right now, a lot of the impetus is put on the locality or the municipality that oversees and sponsors the airport. So right now, there isn't any because it's a very complex issue. The one thing we do strongly recommend, and the FAA strongly recommends, is if there is gonna be drone activity, to contact somebody, either myself or somebody related to the airport, and then I or whoever that is could issue notices that airmen would know there's gonna be activity in the area. So legally, there's absolutely nothing against it. There's strong recommendations that notifications are put out.
Okay.
And isn't there weight, along with your height, there's also weight limitations on the drones too? That
For certain weights, they have to be registered with the FAA.
Exactly, so,
But there isn't even dedicated enforcement. They don't even, just prescribe who's going to enforce the weight and registration of it. It's a very, it's complicated because you can get it for $30 at Walmart, so to try to get everybody to register them is practically impossible. But there are certain applications where it's necessary to have registration.
Bill, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, Dan, you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, just I'm sure if we asked the Humane Society if they would contact you, I don't see that would be an issue, would it? Okay.
Fine.
My thought is it's because we have this event thing. If we had that on there, would there be drone operation?
We could change our, we could follow up and make a change to our everything. I don't think the FAA's notice that I saw was way after we generated this form.
Yeah.
So if we
Oh,
want
I
to
know that.
modify the form, we can go ahead and do that. And we can consider that at another meeting or shortly. Anything else? Okay, go ahead.
did have one more concern. I remember someone had mentioned the dogs that were on the walk with the people were doing their duties and people were not picking that up. They did complain about that before, so I don't know if,
Well, I suppose we could get DNA on every dog. Do some testing.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's something that, they have most people are very responsible for picking up after their dogs, but that is something of a
I
concern.
think that, the impetus, even though this is in, their building is in Grand Rapids, the actual road that they use, I don't think it's a half mile long.
Right.
In the town of Grand Rapids, then it goes to the village of Burin, so it's basically, depends where the dog goes, I
Right.
guess.
So-
Whose ordinance gets
I
followed.
just thought I'd mention it. It was
If I
something
may
for last
add
year.
to it that before you do go on a dog walk, they tell you to take some bags along.
Okay, good.
All right, did we get a motion in a second? We did?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed. Thank you. Move on to the next one is the Jigsaw Run for Autism, which is on May 17th.
And I did get that certificate this afternoon, that just
Okay.
came in.
Perfect.
Okay, so everything is complete on that application. Any questions?
The police chief and the fire chief still have to sign?
No, they did, they just didn't have it when your packets went out, they
Okay.
both signed off on them. so.
Signed off, okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Jigsaw Run fundraiser.
I'll second.
Dan made the motion, Kathy seconded, discussions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 I'm an aye, any opposed? No opposed. Moving to training, Officer Jeremy Anderson, FTO Instructor and Certification Training, Fox Valley Technical College, total cost $948.75. It has been approved by Mr. Peterson, which indicates that he does have it in his budget. Questions that I cannot answer.
Do we currently have a field train? We must have a FTO right now, I'm assuming. Are we just looking to have a backup or an additional one, or?
Can't tell you.
Don't know that.
I'll make a motion to approve training request.
Motion, Bill.
I'll second it.
Second, Dan. I mean, we can ask that question before we authorize him to go, if that's what your desire is.
No, I was just curious.
No,
I would have asked
no.
him, but I didn't know if there had been an officer here, so I
Okay.
wouldn't change it up.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? No opposed. Item 12 is Supervisor Clint Enning wishing to go to Wisconsin Towns Lawyer Conference in Madison.
Oh, no.
I'll make a motion to approve Bill Glendenning to attend the Wisconsin Towns Lawyer Conference in Madison on April 29th.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. I'll be voting opposed to this because I don't understand why we'd be sending a town board supervisor to a town lawyer conference. If anyone would be going, I would expect it to be one of our attorneys.
Okay. I also make a comment, I'm going to vote opposed also. We have enabled two different lawyer firms that work for us, and if there's any issues that we need to be brought up, they certainly can be brought up to me and asked to be spoke to our attorney, so I don't see the need for one of us town board supervisors to go to a lawyers conference. We did send all of our board members to PFC, which is Police and Fire Commission training a number of years ago, which also included obviously some lawyers, but that piece of information was very well for them, but I guess I'm against going to lawyers conferences as a general rule.
You approved it last year. It was approved last year.
Well, if it was, I won't do it this year. I wouldn't approve it this year.
I know.
Can I ask the significance of it? I mean, what part pertains to the town? I mean, that you want us?
It's right there. It says it's for town officials and lawyers. The lawyers pay $250, I believe. It's a $50 fee. I can't vote on it because it benefits me, so.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor of it, say aye.
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 Those opposed?
Opposed.
Aye, opposed. So it defeats. Approve recycling and solid waste holding Tuesday reuse events on 5/21 and September 17th, 2016. Bill, any comments you want to make about that first, other than in your regular meeting or update later?
Yeah, on an update later.
Okay.
One of the things is that, I don't know if you know this, but last year you would only allow me one, and then I had to come back for the second one. But I put in for both of them this time.
Are they still collecting TVs and that? Do you know if
Yes.
it's gonna be the same fees?
Yes, same fees as last year.
Which was 10 and 25, was it?
10 and 25, yes.
Any comments? Motion? I'll make it a motion to approve the Tuesday reuse events on 5/21 and 9/17.
I'll second that.
Motion Arnie, second Kathy, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? No opposed. Oops, not done with that page yet, excuse me. All right, open and possible awarding of bids for blacktopping, Hunter's Ridge, Southern Ridge Drive, and Hunter's Ridge subdivision.
Just the one left.
We have one blacktopping bid, she tells me. From American Asphalt. Total cost, price $34,426. 568 tons at 60,061 cents. What I'd like to do is to accept the bid and ask the Public Safety or Public Works Committee to review it tomorrow and award it if everything meets specifications. Public Works is going to meet tomorrow evening. So would that be favorable of somebody, if somebody
I'll
would
make,
make a
I'll make a motion that we approve it pending approval by the Public Works
If
Committee
they see
tomorrow
fit
night.
to award it, yep. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Kathy, discussion?
So if they say no, what do we do, rebid it?
We'd have to rebid then. We need to be sure that it meets the specifications of the asphalt, and just to look at them right now, you can't tell by everything that's on there because there's so much stuff, so we need to make sure it's up to spec. Which I expect it is, because they did this, I would believe they did the blacktop work there in the other parts of the subdivision. Okay? Is there a motion and a second? There was, eh? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so a reasonable bid.
much was it again?
34,426.
560.
That would not include the shouldering though.
I understand.
Yep. Do you want the ton price?
It was 560, yeah, what was the ton price?
60.61.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
On the next agenda item, I'm not sure if because of the fact we haven't opened up the bids yet, I don't know if I need to recuse myself from those bids pending on who may be bidding on that.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Because-
Not unless you submitted a bid.
No, I didn't submit a bid. Okay,
No, I wouldn't see no reason why you would.
okay.
Okay, we will, Dan and I will review those with Rick and Bill, you available tomorrow? Nick?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get you a copy of this after the meeting here, all right? All right, who's gonna do the tally sheet for me? There are several bids. For gravel?
Public Works, dude.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, clerk.
It's on vibrate.
Yeah, it is.
Mom, what are we gonna have for supper? The first bid is from Kramer Company.
Kramer?
3/4 to 7/8 base material, $11.45 per ton delivered. And just thick paper, I thought maybe they had another bid too, because some were gonna. DB Leasing. Which is now Baziner Trucking and Excavating or something. 3/4 inch base from the mill quarry, $13.50. And if we would also want 1.25 inch, they're telling us it'd be $13.35 per ton. This is Dale Laddick. We will deliver and supply 100% fracture crust 3/4 minus database anywhere in the town for $10.64 per ton. Bone Trucking and Excavating. Uh, 3/4 inch gravel, $10.74 per ton. This is Walasik. $2,500 ton or 250 tons, 100% 3/4 inch base, $12.55 per ton. The low was Atlantic.
Mm-hmm. 10,
Okay.
6.
We've had him for a number of years and off and on.
Did he actually quote the 3/4 ton on that? I guess I didn't hear.
It's a
that. I mean,
3/4.
3/4 inch.
Yep.
Okay.
Crushed 3/4 minus road base. Correct. Okay. Is there a motion to accept any one of these?
Where's, Mr. Chairman, where's Laddick from?
He's actually in Vesper.
I'll make a motion to approve Laddick. They were the low bidder.
Okay, second by,
I'll second it for discussion.
okay. And the motion been made by, was it Bill? I'm sorry. And then Kathy,
Yes.
and discussion?
Mr. Chairman, my only concern is I've always gone low bid, but when we're talking only 10 cents a ton difference, we have one which is within our town, and I wish I could remember, and maybe one of you would remember, there have been other bids that we've had in the past when they've been really close, and the question came up why we didn't choose somebody from within our town. I think maybe it was the electrical lighting of the municipal building, perhaps, that we had somebody come through that was from our town, so that's my only question.
Yeah, I know, I can tell you from past record, Laddick has probably in the last 8 to 10 years, has probably had it 9 out of 10 years that we've done, and, you know, so I have no issues with Laddick as far as being qualified to haul the material, and has always been able to supply the material as requested. Last year, quite frankly, Bone just came in cheaper.
Okay.
And it was-
And I think the year before it was Laddick, so we always.
I know it's been
went with
Laddick a long time. I mean, I have nothing against Laddick at all. I only wanted to ask if anyone could recall the conversations that have been at the table in the past when
Sometimes
it's been
you're looking
close.
at a Ford and a Chevrolet, but you're looking at gravel primarily coming out of the same mill, so it's all basically the same product.
I'm gonna be, I kinda have the same feeling. I think, again, they're close. I know it's 10 cents a ton. But Bone being in Grand Rapids, I'm gonna be voting against this motion.
Okay.
Can I say something? Dave Laddick, representing Laddick Road Materials and Laddick Trucking. I think you want to preserve the integrity of the bid process. I mean, we've been doing your work before. We give you our best bid. We're low bid. There's no reason why we shouldn't get the work. I kind of understand your feelings, but we bid probably between 45 and 50 townships per year, and this never really happens.
I agree
Always
with you,
go
Dale.
low bid unless the low bidder is not financially responsible, and you can check your state statutes, and that's what it says. It said if the low bid is financially responsible, it should be awarded to the low bidder.
I'm agreeing with you, Dale. I also state that we've known your product that you were bringing us in the past, and if there was any deficiency in the products in the past, then we'd have a reasonable leg to stand on to decline it. And as 10 cents is 10 cents, and I guess I would be voting for the
Does
motion.
it say in the bid that we'll accept the low bid?
No. It says the town board reserves the right to reject any or all the bids to accept that bid deemed most advantageous to the town.
William, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I'm voting yes on this. I think it's the right thing to do. Honor the bid system, that's why people put in bids. I don't care if it was 2 cents. It's just the idea, I've heard this argument all the time.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm Craig Kaziner, I bid, and I live in the town of Grand Rapids also, and I would hate to see our town turn out like the village of Port Edwards. They ended up having one bidder all the time doing all their work because of the same thing we're talking about right now, always taking his bid no matter where it was at. And I quit bidding there, and if you guys start doing this stuff here, you'll start, people quit bidding to you, and then all of a sudden your prices are gonna go through the roof. I don't have anything against anybody that I compete against, I don't have anything against Bone, anything, but if you jeopardize your bid process, you'll start people running away from here, and it'll be costing you way more money. Just my 2 cents.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have a motion for the low bid of Laddick. Motion was made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There's no opposed now?
No.
Okay. All right, integrity has been kept. Thank you.
Take care of you.
You're right.
Thanks for being here.
You're absolutely right.
All right, the recommendations from Chairman Neisman for Port, Nystrom is my name, isn't it? How do you spell that? Appointments, the Plan Commission, Police and Fire Commission, Sanitary Commission, Airport Commission, Board of Heights. And the last one is being dropped off because we do not need to appoint Lisa. She is automatically on the board as we reconfirmed today. So for the Plan Commission, the 2-year replacement would be again reappointing Justin Connor, and he will accept the chairman's position.
That's 3 years.
3 years, excuse me, and 3 year for Patty Longby. Do you want those separately, or do you want them as a group?
Doesn't matter to me.
Do them as a group.
Do as a group.
Police and Fire Commission, Kurt Willard, who is the chairman, for reappointment for 5 years. Sanitary Commission, Greg Stelmacher, a 6-year appointment. And the Airport Commission, the Board of Heights, Thomas Heiser, and that term is not set. It is because it's at the discretion of the chairman how long he serves. So, it'd be
Discretion of town chair
Yeah,
or
or of the town.
airport? Okay.
Yeah, I can't give you the exact language, but it's undetermined length of term.
Okay.
Okay? Is there a motion to approve my
I make a motion
appointments?
to approve the chairman's recommendations.
I'll second that.
Motion Bill, second Kathy, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Did you meet the airport guy yet, Tom? All right. Chairman Nation to report on vehicle values, 2005 GMC Yukon and 2011 Tahoe, which we both own, and one of them which is likely to be gone. The best I can give you is from Kelly's Blue Book, the range of the 2005 with the miles on it, and the quality is from 6,000 to 8,000. The 2011 Tahoe ranges from 11 to 14,000. Those might be slightly high, although the Tahoe is titled as a vehicle. It is not titled as a police vehicle, which cleans the title up a little bit, but it was used for our dog program when we had the dog. So those are the ranges of it. Obviously, I think we need to sell one. Preferably, I would say that we'd release the Tahoe as we just re-braked the GMC Yukon, and it's really nice shape now.
So the Yukon is the burgundy one?
Burgundy one, yes. And,
Okay.
and Tammy's would be the Tahoe, the one she
Okay.
uses as the day car. And the Tahoe is a 2-wheel drive Tahoe. And the Yukon is a 4-wheel drive vehicle, so it makes a little difference in how we get around sometimes.
So you're thinking about keeping one for the town
Yeah,
vehicle?
which
and
we
then-
kept the 2005 last year.
Yep.
I'd like to keep it on, it's running good, there's only got 98,000 miles on it. There's really no reason to get rid of it. We used it roughly 3,000 miles this last year, so it did get some use going to meetings, et cetera. And 2011, it's got right around 100,000. I think we'd get better value on that at the auction. So what I would do is put a package together for next month of which items we would like to sell. And we have some stuff in the facility here that should go, and I'll bring a package together for everybody to consider to put on the auction site.
Go ahead.
Is the airport interested in a vehicle yet?
They did pick up one, they may have another one lined up, but certainly if they were interested in one of these vehicles, they could bid on it at the auction site. We might get it better than what we're willing to sell it for, you know.
Do we put a minimum? I mean, if so, if it doesn't?
Well, we have the right to refuse.
Right, we would just refuse it if it wasn't high enough of a bid.
As in the past, that's always the option with the state, this auction site is that we can recuse any bids if it's not acceptable. But most of the time, we're getting reasonable money for the vehicles there. Okay, any discussion on it? March distribution vouchers, disbursement vouchers.
I have no questions. I had some earlier and I found my answers, so.
Same here.
Okay. Operator license applications, do we have any?
Nope.
Wow.
Oh,
Monthly reports. I didn't give you that first.
Yep, thanks.
Public Works first, met recently with the DOT Urban Roads It's a pot of funds that's available for shared municipalities, City of Wisconsin Rapids, us, City of Nakusa, Village of Port Edwards, us have a pot of funds available that are discretionary and can be used for larger projects. We met to discuss the boundary lines, and I was able to get the boundary line changed on the south of us to include 32nd Street area all the way to Town Line Road. Deer to Town Line Road is now going to be included in the map. So what does that mean to us? If the map gets approved, which we believe it will, that would then open up the possibility of us to use funding when we need to go in and rebuild the creek down area, which is actually probably steeper than DOT recommended grades. That's been looked at for many, many years, but it's been such an expensive project that we pretty much put it on the back burner. So at least at this point in time, it would become eligible for 80, is it 80%, Bill, 75? 50% funding, 50-50 funding. But it still would have to be approved by DOT and would have to be approved by the Urban Roads Committee, which I stated who they were earlier. So that's the changes to the boundaries, although we are also adding some more of Saratoga into the boundary. That would include some of the roads that are high traffic roads now, since the county highway, or the Highway 73 made the jog before branding iron. Some of the roads that get more traffic on them now are called Mill Avenue, et cetera, and those are also getting included into this mapping area. And of course, all those around the development area. So, questions?
Did you mention with the counties with the county now, they're changing their formula on their 50-50? You'll be getting a letter on it.
I have a letter, quite frankly, Bill, but I opened up, saw it said 50-50, and I said, well, I'll look at it later.
Oh, okay.
We have received that.
And what it is they're not gonna pay the 50%, you're gonna have to pay them back. So there is a change in that. I was at the highway meeting, and there was a lot of discussion on it. And I'll get you the paperwork.
Well, I've got the application here,
Oh, okay.
just haven't read it. As a matter of fact, I gave it to Lisa this morning, didn't I? Okay, so anything else on the public works, equipment's good? Our new truck is likely built and put together. It's on the show circuit now. It'll be going to the county highway commissioners' meetings. Will get delivered to us sometime later in the fall to be used by us. So hopefully, any bugs that it has in it will be worked out before it gets to us. Rest of the equipment is fine. And any questions?
In the snow plowing for that last snowstorm, a lot of roads were dug up by the wing of the plow, and I know you got calls and I got calls too. And also I noticed on 44th Court that's been smoothed over, but there just seemed to be an awful lot of scraping, especially again in Blueberry, Mulberry area, and around the 44th Court on that other side. It was dug up, and I got called and went over and looked at it. I just don't understand why, like a lot of the residents that complained about it said, if I had somebody plowing my driveway and they did that all the time, I wouldn't hire them again. And that's my thing of it is how we can dig up. And I know we're gonna hear, well, that's town property, but.
Well, you know the answer already then, but I'm not condoning any issues. Any issues that we did have recently that were gouges were fixed a couple days later. I mean, if somebody has a real issue with us, but sometimes the shoulder of the road, the round of the road is like this, and if your grass is up this high here and the blade is on angle, how's it not gonna tear up something? It's the gravel. Typically, we have a 3-foot gravel shoulder. This town is bent over and said to the citizens, you can put grass all the way up to your blacktop, right? So when you do that, what happens over the years? Blacktop or black dirt just keeps building up, building up. I can tell you mine was built in at the right elevation, I can guarantee you right now. Matter of fact, there's dig marks on mine because the plow got into mine by about 4 or 5 inches because it is higher than the road. If you have something that's higher than the road, the blade can't be micromanaged right down to the inch of where it's gonna be.
And these weren't complaints I looked at. These were complaints where the plow dug in lower than the road, so.
I've looked at it, Bill, and anything that we did that wasn't, I can assure you that it's not intentional, because why would anybody want to make work for themselves? Other issues, Plan Commission, Patty, you had a meeting and you proved something that we just approved.
Actually, from our last meeting here, we had 2 plan commissions. We had the plan commission on March 14th, which the Heart of Wisconsin Chamber Leadership Program recapped a project to create a dog park located at the Alexander Airport. And they're researching funding and to confirm compliance with the FFA regulations. We had a certified survey map splitting 20 acres into 2 10-acre parcels. We had the certified survey map, which we had this evening. We had 1 dog exemption permit, and then we started the discussion of the sign ordinance for the flashing, rotating, and moving signs. And then we also discussed the possibility of bringing vinyl sheds that are already erected throughout the town to bring them into the compliance with land use permits. And approximately there were 45 sheds that were found to date. And so then we had our April 11th meeting, and we approved the application to rezone the 1-acre parcel that we had for this evening. We reviewed the land use permits for the accessory structures for those vinyl sheds. Mid-State Technical College also came to our meeting for a land use permit for an addition for a student services and information center. I recollect that it's about approximately like 5,200 square feet, I believe. I'm just recalling from memory. And then a sign ordinance, we've pretty much wrapped up the sign ordinance as far as the flashing, rotating, that at our next meeting, we should be able to finalize that and then refer that to legislative committee. And that was about it.
Okay, so you feel next month you'll be able to put it to legislative, is that correct?
Yes, after
Okay.
our meeting,
Is-
yep.
I am building up some items for legislative. I have
Yep.
a couple of things, Lisa, that I gave you that we need to work on, so maybe we'll hold off 1 more month for Plan Commission to
Yep.
finalize that, and then we'll look at having a legislative meeting sometime mid-May.
Midnight.
Okay, anything else? Questions of Patty? Public safety, anything?
No meeting.
Okay. WTA meeting, where was that, Bill? I think that was on a Friday or Thursday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't go to the
I
last
didn't either.
one.
Dan?
Nope,
Good,
didn't go.
okay. Airport Commission, you want to give a report, Bill?
Yes, the Airport Commission, just to touch on, this was one of the items on the Airport Commission about the dog park that was talked about at the plan. The dog park people were going to, at first they were going on 30 at the end of it, correct? Yeah.
Under the, it was off the departure under runway 30.
Yeah, 30, and that was scratched because you can't have it on the approach of a runway. So then they were going over by Airport Avenue, 40th and Airport, if you know where that is. That's where we had
Not 40th.
encroachment.
Not 40th, 40 Airport Avenue. you
Well,
mean.
40 Airport Avenue, yes. And that's where we had the encroachment. Now they're thinking about a dog park there of about 35 acres, but they never showed up at the airport meeting to discuss it. And I don't think you've heard anything since then, have you? The Airport Commission, what does it think of it? 2 of the commissioners did state that they think the airport property should be used for airport purposes. So that's what was said. The airport manager, by the way, we have a new letterhead now. I don't know if you've seen any of this, but we're going by a new letterhead that we're using. And it's a little bit different report than we used to have from the FBO. So one of the things is the airport, we're working on the trees in the area that need to be cut. And we have a small area there that we're starting with. However, we're going through our attorneys. Our attorney, we just hired him about a month ago, and he's working on it. And him and Jeremy and the attorney will be sending a letter out to these people, and we'll probably have a public forum on it when people can come and discuss it. We haven't decided yet whether the airport commission is going to pay for it or the individual property owners are going to. We had a Cub Scout there for a new sign being proposed for the airport. It's going to be a lighted sign. I don't know if you know where the other one is, but as you approach the airport and come to First Street, it's to the north. However, they're going to put it between the driveway and the hangar, so it's more view. And they're going to solicit funds from different areas. It's the Cub Scouts. I can't think of the pilot's name. That's his grandson. Ron, yes. And he lives in the town of Grand Rapids, and he's looking out for that sign. We also updated the manager's cell phone. He'll be getting a cell phone. Obviously, he don't have to use his own. Airport terminal improvements. There's a lot of discussion on probably looking at building a hangar, like not so much a hangar, but a storage area for planes that come in, jets they want to get out of, and other planes they want to get out of the hail or something like that, but also for our equipment that we have that we just purchased. And so that's a proposal that's working on. Sand Valley was just at the airport yesterday. Or was that this morning?
They emailed me yesterday.
Yeah.
We're gonna meet in a week and a half.
Yeah, and talk about transportation between the Sand Valley and the airport, so that's good. Approval of the T-hanger agreements. We have one T-hanger that's available, and we're doing those on a year-to-year basis, and rather than you can rent these for 20 years, 50 years. One of the last ones was for 50 years, and we're still suffering under that. We approved the vouchers, and just one of the comments I have on the voucher is the fact that I thought at the time that this was being proposed, we cut that land that's in the town of Grand Rapids, those trees between Sampson Street and the airport. We needed those cut down. They weren't cut down the last time. So we allowed the city to come in with their crew, and it was over $7,500 to do that. Do you know how many days they were out there?
It seemed like a lot.
Yeah. But it was $7,000 to do that. You know, and I thought it could be Public Works for, all four of us at the time. But anyways, that was on the airport vouchers. That's about it. Any
I don't know
questions?
why you didn't want to just put it out for bids again and let it be done.
Yes.
Okay, all right, public buildings, anything yet? Dan,
Nope.
boy.
We're looking good so far.
All right, economic development, Patty.
Nothing.
Recycling solid waste, Bill, you want to talk a little bit about
Yes.
choose to reuse?
The Choose to Reuse program, of course, we just got it approved. Okay, we're working on it. The TVs are going to be $10. Below 27 inch is going to be $10. 27 inch and above is going to be $25. But I just got a message from another person, Arbondale Recycling, and we get it through ODC also. But any size TV they get, as long as they get 10 TVs, they only have to charge $10 a piece. So that's what I'm working on with Mike Clinic. He's up at Northwest Computers up in Marshfield. I think it's called Northwest Computers. So I'm working on that. And also added is what we're going to add this year is cell phone collection for, what is that? We're, what? The Family Center, yes. We're going to have, they're collecting them for a fundraiser. So we're going to have and advertise on our flyers that we're going to be collecting cell phones because it's a fundraiser for them.
I'm glad to give you mine.
Or at least
It's a working condition.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I was working overtime today.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Bill? You said that the TVs, if you get a greater than a certain amount brought in, that there's a discounted price. So then how will that work? Will they bill out to individuals what the cost is after the fact?
No,
or-
that's what I'm talking to him about.
Trying to figure out
the
what-
guy, yes.
Okay.
I think that'd be pretty tough to do. I think you're gonna have to start on a standard price. I don't know how on earth you would
How do you
trust,
determine it? Yeah.
trust that everybody would give you your TV and you send them a bill and they pay them. I'll give you my address and it wouldn't be my address, you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, we're working on it.
How many TVs do you get on an average?
Well, the first time we ever collected them, we collected over 700 TVs.
700?
700 TVs. That was the first time we did it, and it was 3 truckloads that ODC came and picked up. Last year, there wasn't a lot of them, but last year, we found so many in the county forest, in the school forest, and if you go over on the way to the casino at the town of Port Edwards, I don't know how they put up with all those TVs in the ditches.
So did we
Yeah,
get more than 10
yeah.
last time?
Well, I think,
Oh, yeah.
There must
more
have
than-
been
Oh,
between 50 and 100.
oh, yeah, 50 and
All
100.
right. So I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
No.
legislative committee, or I guess I should have said it, was that solved your question, Kathy? Okay.
Thank you.
Legislative, no recent meetings there, but we will be meeting. Personnel committee has nothing, I assume?
Nothing recent, but we will be meeting because it's that follow-up time now. It's been about 6 months since we made some of those changes with the treasurer, so.
Bill, I wanted to give you a couple of minutes if you wanted to recap what took place at Saratoga with the legislators meeting on water quality. Did you want to talk
Oh,
briefly
yes.
about that?
There was 4 legislators at the Saratoga Town Hall. There was 100 and at least about 150 people at that meeting. There was 12 elected officials at that meeting, which was kind of nice. But the 4 legislators that were there were Julie Lawson, Katrina Shanklin, and the guy from Racine, can't think of their names. But there was 2 people from another district. And well, most of the conversation settled around water quality and quantity. Most of it is on quality. People got up and told their, what they're witnessing and what they're working on and the bills that haven't been passed. And right now, it's supposed to come out next week about the meeting, the 3-year, it's been almost 3 years working on this project that the state is having about it, cumulative wells, how many wells does it take? There was no legislation really passed, and the CAFO wasn't mentioned, but is the CAFO coming in? It's probably yes, it is. We're getting an awful lot of help out of the health department. There's a person that always attends it from the health department, and she does a good job. So the only thing is with this area that this CAFO wants to go in is the fact that it's sand country, and it's the most populated CAFO in the United States. It will be. Most of them are not that densely. I went by the ones in Indiana and even in Armenia. There's not that many people around there, but in this one there is. So it's ongoing. The meeting lasted the 3 hours they scheduled for, and it would have went on more. And so we heard from a lot of different people.
Okay, thank you for that update. Any reports from individual town board members? Kathy, got anything?
No, thank you.
Patty, anything?
No, thank you.
Ann?
I guess 2 things. One, I'd like to just first congratulate Bill and Kathy on getting reelected. I think we got a good group up here that obviously don't see eye to eye on everything, but can get stuff resolved. And the second thing was regarding the vote on the gravel bed. You know, and I was going to vote no because of the closeness with Bowen, but after hearing the people out there and the discussion they have about accepting the low bid, that is why I chose to accept that low bid, and they were absolutely right. That was the right thing to do.
Okay, Bill, you got anything else? One more time?
Well, I would like to thank the voters. I believe it was 66.41% of the town of Grand Rapids got out to vote, and that's great. We had, what was it, 3,339 voters, and that's pretty good for this. And also, the fact that Wood County was also, they were 64%. Although in the paper it says it was 46% of registered voters, but there was 64% of the people got out and voted, which was great. And we beat Marathon County, so I think, I want to thank the voters for, getting out and voting. It was good issues out there.
Okay. And back to me, I have nothing additional to bring forward tonight. I will offer the public one more opportunity to speak to us this evening or the camera. 2 minutes maximum. Public period will be no more than 16 minutes. Anybody else wishing to speak? Shirley?
Yeah, I was disappointed on election day not to see that we did not have 2 ballot scanners. I mean, the lines, were long, and some, a lot of people are in a hurry. They come at their lunchtime and whatever, so I was wondering, I thought that we were gonna have 2 scanners. Is that do we own that one scanner, or do we get it from the county, or how does that work?
The answer is we own that one, and we are renting one for the presidential, an extra one. I don't remember what the cost was, but that was in our budget.
$1,200, I think.
$1,200 for an additional
Why
scanner.
can't we just buy another one?
Because sometimes we only have 700 voters. And you don't need to run when you have that little. I mean,
We spend a lot of money on other things. I mean, sometimes that's the only time the resident comes here is to vote, and they wanna get in and out. What's wrong with 2 scanners?
I think the longest I heard was anybody was waiting was less than 20 minutes
20
from
minutes is 20
from one to the other, and, we apologize to it. I mean, sometimes the nth row line was long, and sometimes it was the other line. And people say, well, why don't you do a better job in picking it out? Yes, they actually do. They count the number of voters that are registered in each group and divide them by 3 to get the 3 different spots, so they know that it should be theoretically equal. But some days, one line is longer than the other. In the morning, it was the 8th through whatever was drastically long, and then in the evening, it was the other way around, so.
I'm not complaining about that. I'm
No.
not commenting about that. I mean, if you gotta wait in line for 20 minutes, at least you could, you wouldn't have to wait to get it scanned, is my
Yeah.
point.
Mr. Chairman, if I could add to that, I think there were some issues as well, that there were a lot of people who were confused about how to fill out the ballot. And there were a lot of questions that needed to be asked when they received their ballot, because that's what I observed for the short time I was in, that time of frame time getting to the table and getting their ballot and understanding what did it mean and such, so.
There was quite a
So
number
it was
of.
more than just it was kind of a perfect storm of a few different issues.
There was
but-
quite a number of spoiled ballots. By a spoiled ballot, which means somebody voted and maybe a Republican and a Democrat. And of course, that ballot would then get rejected, so the people would have to come back, they'd have to go see one of the chief election inspectors, and chief election inspector asks them questions. They don't look at their ballots unless they can't find it. Did you vote for possibly a Republican and a Democrat? If that's the case, then they had to be issued a new ballot and start over, and they start over. So that caused some of the days, and I know there was over 50, if I.
Oh, wow.
Of
Close to
ones.
50.
Yeah.
It takes time.
So, we can always do better, we'll try. Like I say, we did, I don't know if anybody expected a primary to be this well received, but obviously there wasn't the candidates. If Wisconsin wouldn't have been a pivotal place, I wouldn't expect, we probably wouldn't have had that many people come out to vote. At least we didn't have the 2-hour waits like they did up in Wausau.
It's good to see.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else? Mr. Hett?
I'm gonna ask if do we have a policy for the minutes being prepared and posted?
Yeah, I think by law, it says they have to be approved before they're posted.
Okay.
Because if we would find an error in something, we get them corrected before we post them. That's the procedure. I think we may even have it in an ordinance form, if I remember right, how we post the minutes. I have to look around, I can
Okay.
verify. We have in the past occasionally put courtesy ones out there, but then if we have to make a correction, then we gotta take that one down, put the updated one up, and
Okay, so we got an annual meeting coming up, and that won't be approved for a year.
yep.
Till fall.
Right.
It gets
Maybe
approved
fall,
in
yeah.
November, at the November budget hearing, special meeting.
I'm sitting on the zoning board of appeals, and the last meeting was a year and a half ago. or something
There you
like
go.
that, you know.
Yes.
May I just say something about what we do at the county on that? You know, they're draft minutes, and draft minutes can be put out.
Well, that's
I mean, we
kind of where
get
I
our
was going
minutes,
with this.
we get the draft minutes and not subject to approval.
Yeah.
Which ones are posted on the website? Are you saying you get drafted minutes, or Bill, or the ones on the website are draft?
Everybody, for the county board meeting coming up by next Thursday, anybody can go and see the minutes of all the meetings that were, all the committee meetings,
I understand that.
Yeah. They would all be there, all the minutes from the last meeting of the county board would be there.
What I'm asking you, because I haven't been on the county site to look at those things, do they in a section that says meeting minutes, have them listed by individual committee, and when do they post those minutes to it? Do they do that, or is it just in the packets that you're approving?
It's in our
as a general
packet.
rule?
It's in the packet that we're approving.
Okay. Well, we'll look at it further.
Yeah.
Okay. Hearing none, any items for the next agenda? Not a motion to adjourn.
How about that thing we just talked about for the next agenda?
Now, we'll internally take a look at it.
Thank you. Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Kathy,
second it.
Second, Dan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. 1 hour and 7 minutes.
What was your question?